Once upon a time, in a beautiful African land of Nigeria, there lived a young girl. Her name was Nnenma. Nnenma was an intelligent, hardworking, and obedient young girl. She was the second daughter of her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Oba. Oba, a trailer driver, worked with Nigerian breweries, and his wife, Mma, a hard-working farmer, had six surviving children, four sons and two daughters. When Nnenma was a child, she was always sick. Her parents tried so hard to save her life, but every effort proved abortive. One day, the villagers heard a voice crying for help. It was coming from Nnenma's father's house. Help! 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 Oh! The voice cried strongly. The villagers listened, and the voices increased from one to two, and from two to more voices. So many caring villagers gathered, thinking sickly Nnenma had finally died. Uka, Mma's friend, came crying, "Oh, my friend, oh, you had finally lost that girl. Oh, oh." When she approached close by, she saw the Nnenma, whom she thought had died, also crying. At first, Uka was shocked. She stood still for some time, looking at sickly Nnenma, who was still crying. She was confused, but slowly she entered Oba's compound and asked, "What is the cause for the alarm? We all returned some minutes ago from the farm. As I entered the kitchen to boil our boiling water, I heard mother screaming, 'He had shot me, oh! He had shot me, oh!' Then I rushed to where my mother and brothers were peeling the cassava we brought back from the farm, only to see my mother lying down on the floor, struggling to breathe. So I asked my brothers, 'Who shot our mother?' They said they didn't see anyone nor hear any gunshot." Ozioma, Nnenma's elder sister, answered Uka. On hearing that, Uka said to the villagers, "This could be a spiritual bullet from an enemy. I am suggesting we should quickly rush her to a praying pastor who could handle such a case." They were about to do what Uka, her friend, had suggested when one of the villagers reminded them that their Christian faith forbade them from attending another church, as the penalty would be a disfellowship. Hearing that, one of the elders who came to help asked, "Where is Oba, her husband? Have you forgotten that he is a trailer driver? He had gone to work. His coming back will be in the evening." One of the villagers answered him, My people, instead of us waiting for Oba, who we don't know when he will return, let us take her to the hospital." So the villagers contributed some amount of money and handed it over to her friend Oka to make deposits in the hospital so that the doctor could commence treatment on her before her husband returns back. Therefore, Oka and some of the villagers carried Mma to the hospital. In the evening, as Oba was happily returning home to be with his family, he met his little children standing by the door, crying, except Nnenma, who had always been sick. Without questioning, Oba said, "Nnenma again?" "No, Daddy, not Nnenma, but Mommy." "What? What happened to Mommy?" "Mommy is in the hospital." "How? Why?" "She is very sick. So sister and the villagers took her to Kelechukwu Hospital," Oba's first son said. Without stepping his feet into his house, Oba rushed straight to Kelechukwu's hospital to see his wife. Unfortunately, before he could get there, his wife had already died and her dead body had been deposited into a morgue. Oba knelt down beside his wife's hospital bed and cried bitterly, saying, "Oh God, whom did I offend?" Therefore, Oba, his first daughter, and Oka, who was taking care of Mma, returned home weeping. Few weeks later, every financial savings Oba and his wife had was used to lay the body of a vibrant, hardworking, beautiful, and well-respected Mma to rest, leaving Oba and his children without any financial savings. Oba's family history took another dimension as Oba could no longer work in the company. Considering the nature of his job and the 6 children he had to care for alone, Oba tried to cater for his children using his wife's farm investment. However, months later, Oba, a young elder in the church, was advised by his friends to remarry to avoid any misbehavior. Ozioma, Mma's first daughter, resumed the role of a mother and a nurse to her younger ones. Every morning, she boils some herbs like dogoyaro, lemongrass, leaves, and other herbs in a pot and warms it twice a day for everyone to drink, first thing in the morning before breakfast. Gradually, Nnenma, the Sikisiki girl, became free from her sickness. 6 months later, Oba remarried to a young beautiful woman who quickly began to give birth to more children, till Oba now had a total of 10 children, which made it difficult for Oba to sponsor them all in school. Schooling was now based on a level of humility, as the new wife's children are to be considered first. However, feeding was not a challenge as they were engaged in farming, but education was on a lower level. Oba tried his best as a man, but could no longer meet up with some of his children's education. Ozioma and Dike, the first son, managed to finish secondary school. Ume and Obi went to serve people, while others were in primary schools. One Christmas season, Nnenma's maternal uncle came visiting. He said to Mr. Oba, his late sister's husband, "My in-law, it is true that we are not happy over the sudden death of our beloved sister, which you know, but our anger will not last forever. So I have decided to let go and help my sister's children. Therefore, I have come to tell you so that you can allow Ozioma, your first daughter, to come to the city with me to enable her to secure a good job." Mr. Oba gladly shook hands with his in-law and thanked him for his effort to help his family and gave his consent. On hearing that, Ozioma excitedly packed her belongings and went to live with her uncle in the city. There in the city, Ozioma started working as a typist and was sustained through her job. One day, while she was busy working, she met a man called Mr. Chima, who proposed to marry her. Mr. Chima worked in a reputable company and was well paid, which made it easier for the marriage to take place successfully without stress. She became pregnant and gave birth to a child. At this stage, she needed a helping hand, so she and her husband resolved to bring her younger sister, Nnenma, to the city to help her. Nnenma happily arrived at the city with her in-law, and without wasting time, her good qualities began to display. She wakes up early enough, clean their environment, wash and bath, She never bypassed anyone without greetings, whether young or old. One morning, Mr. Chima, Nnenma's in-law, called. Nnenma, yes sir, dress up. Let us go somewhere. Okay sir. She quickly dressed and told her sister what her husband had said. Her sister confirmed she was aware of where they were going. So Mr. Chima and Nnenma set out. They arrived at a gate. The security man opens the gate. Good morning, sir. Nnenma said so fast. Good morning, young girl. How are you? I'm fine, thank you, sir. You may come in, sir, the security man said to Mr. Chima. They walked into the establishment. Oh, thank you, God, Nnenma said aloud, seeing the establishment was a secondary school. Mr. Chima asked, may I see the principal, please? Oh, sure. Her office is the last room by your right. Thanks. Nnenma and her in-law head straight to the principal's office. Approaching her door, they met the principal about to leave the office. Wow! Whom do we have here? Mr. Chima, do you live in this city? This world is a small place. Please come in, the principal said excitedly. Mr. Femi, so you work in this establishment? Such a small world indeed. How are you doing? I'm fine. You are all welcome. Please sit down. The principal offered them seats. Mr. Chima took a close look at principal and gave a wonderful smile and said, Mrs. Femi, this is my daughter-in-law. I want her to school here. So the principal turned to the girl. Young girl, how are you? I'm fine. Good morning, madam. Good morning. Have you completed your primary school? Yes, madam. I am in JSS3. Sure? Yes, madam. What about your junior WAEC examination? My father had registered me since last month, and we were told that the examination will commence today, before my in-law brought me to the city. Sure. I was about to go and get the question papers before your arrival. Mr. Chima, you can see, it is late already. I will only admit her if she passes our admission test, but she has to repeat the class from next section to enable her to do well in her exams, Mr. Femi said as she stood up to leave for the examination's question papers. I'll be grateful. Thank you so much, Mr. Chima responded as they bid goodbye. Nnenma loved schooling so much and had always desired to be a graduate. On reaching home that day, Nnenma's joy knew no bounds because of her renewed hope in continuing her education. She was always singing and making melodies in her heart. However, she had to wait till the next session. Finally, Nnenma was admitted into JSS3 classes in that same school on the next academic section. After her admission, one day, Mr. Chima called, Nnenma, yes sir, please sit down. Nnenma sat down quietly. Hold your ears. Nnenma held her ears as he had instructed her. You are a good girl. Continue to be good. You used to wake up at 5 a.m. Try to make it 4:30. Do your house calls before leaving for school. Make sure by 7 a.m. you are already in school. Once it is 6 p.m., avoid anything that will take you out of this compound. You should sleep by 8 p.m. Do you understand me? Yes, sir, Nnenma responded. Repeat what I said. Nnenma repeated exactly what her in-law had said. Okay, that shows that you heard me very clearly. Mr. Chima turned to his wife, Ozioma, Nnenma's elder sister, and said, Choice, Please ensure that whatever will be used for the next day's breakfast is ready before 6 p.m. every day. You can go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, auntie, Nnenma said as she quietly left their presence. Few days later, everyone noticed positive changes in school. Nnenma will always come to school early enough, clean the school premises and offices in such a way that even the latecomers will have no reserved place to be used to punish them. Soon, Nnenma completed her JSS3 classes, wrote her junior WAEC examination successfully, and was promoted to SS1 classes. One morning, Nnenma woke up with blood stains. She quickly understood because she had already been taught in her school, and on more than 2 occasions, she had seen her classmates packaging themselves. So, in the same manner, she packaged herself and went to school. Ah! Ah! Nnenma cried as she sat down in the class. What is the problem? Her classmates asked. My stomach is aching. Ah! Ah! Nnenma cried bitterly as she experienced stomach ache. Gradually, the pain increased. Nnenma could no longer sit, stand, or even lie down quietly as she screamed in pain. My stomach! My stomach! Oh! Her classmates tried to help her, while one of them reported to their class teacher, who came asking questions to Nnenma. When did this start? Now, sir. Have you eaten today? Yes, sir. The teacher asked so many questions but couldn't guess the cause. So he said, where do you live? Along the street, sir. Okay. You, the teacher pointed at one of her classmates and said, see her off to the house and return immediately. Yes, sir. She held Nnenma's arm. As she assisted her to stand, Nnenma stood up gently and both of them walked gently to her house. Luckily for Nnenma, her in-law was on a night duty that week. He had not gone to work yet, so he received her daughter-in-law and appreciated the girl that brought her back. As the girl turned to go back to school, Nnenma vomited very seriously and became very weak. Everyone who saw her concluded she was pregnant, but the girl ran back and assisted her in-law to put her into the house. So her classmates sat with her while her in-law went and bought some drugs for her. She took the drugs. After some minutes, she slept off. Her classmates went back to school. Mr. Chima sat down, wondering what could be the cause of the stomach upset. He said to himself, Nnenma, pregnant? No, not possible. Oh, sir, but she eats well. Anyway, when her sister returns home today, we will take her to hospital, where we will know exactly what her problem is. So he stood up from where he sat down thinking. Quietly, he stepped into the room where Nnenma was resting, sat beside her, gazing at her. There he saw little stains of blood on her skirt. His fear was relieved, knowing she was going through severe menstrual pain. Soon, school was over for that day. Nnenma's classmates, who brought her back home earlier that day, came in the company of her classmates to check on her according to their class teacher's instruction. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, students. How are you all? We are fine, thank you, sir. Please, sir, our class teacher instructed us to check on Nnenma and give him feedback, one of the students said. Oh, that's so kind of him. She is better now. but she is sleeping. Thank you so much, sir. We should be on our way now. I believe we will see her in school tomorrow. Yes, I believe too. Thanks for your care. Okay, sir. Bye. Nnenma stood up from the sleep, looking stronger. She went straight to the bathroom and had her shower. Her in-law observed that she took longer than usual, so he was convinced that his guess was right. He waited patiently till she came out from the bathroom, beautifully dressed, and sat in a sitting room. Mr. Chima joined her and said to her, "Congratulations, my little daughter. You have just become a woman. Take this. Use it to buy whatever you need to take care of yourself." He handed over some amount of money to her. Nnenma wondered how her in-law got to know. "Come on, go ahead. Take this and take care of yourself. And don't be shy to tell me whenever you need any money for a pad. And please stop using pieces. It is not healthy, okay?" "Okay, sir." Nnenma received the money from her in-law, appreciated him as she shied away from his presence. Nnenma resumed school the next day, looking very healthy. Everyone who saw her the previous day appreciated God for her life. Nnenma, the girl who was assigned to escort her back home the previous day, became her closest friend. Her menstrual pain sickness continued one day each month, till those who thought she was pregnant from the beginning began to have a change of mindset. However, Nnenma graduated from SS1 to SS2 and was assigned a post as the labor and sanitary prefect of the school she attended. After writing her mock exams, as she was getting ready to write her SS3 exams, her life began to take another dimension. One day, Mr. Chima, her loving and caring in-law, called her. "Nnenma." "Yes, sir." "Please have a seat." She sat down facing her sister and the husband. "You all know that I have resigned from my job to start up a business that can cater for us, especially at old age. Your sister here is getting ready to give birth. My company has organized a send-forth party for me and those that are going on retirement. I will be traveling to the UK for a new business. The date my company scheduled for the send-forth party falls on the day I had already booked my flight, and the party cannot be rescheduled because of me. Therefore, I want you to go and represent me in that party. My friends will be there to welcome you." "Sir, will I be able to understand the language of the white men?" "Nnenma, they speak English." "Okay, sir, I will go." On the party day, Nnenma, a 16 years old Nigerian girl, was dressed with a pink suit, her hair well packed, and she took a taxi to the occasion venue. "Welcome." Greetings from Mr. Chima's friends. "Have a seat." Nnenma sat down with them. Immediately, the occasion started. Those to be honored were called to the high table. At the end of the occasion, Mr. Chima was called for a vote of thanks. Nnenma stood up and appreciated the organizers of the occasion and everyone present. The party was over. Nnenma returned home with the gift that was given to Mr. Chima. Few days later, Mr. Chima returned from UK. Everyone was excited to have him back. His two little children ran into his arm. His wife hugged him while Nnenma walked together with them. "You are welcome," everyone said. "We miss you so much." Ozioma, Nnenma's elder sister, had her first and second child through operation On the third, the doctor confirmed that there was no good reason for her to have been operated on, so she decided to change her doctor and the hospital. As a result, she delivered successfully without being operated on. Excitedly, she decided to travel to the village for what Igbo people called omugwo. Omugwo is a care given to a woman who had just put to bed by an experienced mother. It is mostly done by her mother or her mother-in-law. Nnenma, Chisa, and Chile, their two children, could not go with her to the village because it was school period. But Mr. Chima was on both sides, sometime in the city while sometime at the village, throughout the 3 months Ozioma spent in the village. While Ozioma was away, a music began to play. Mr. Chima began to dance to the tune as usual. But this time, he wanted Nnenma to be his dancing partner. But Nnenma did not like such music and had not done such a dance before. So she said, "No, sir, I had never done such a dance before, and I don't want to dance. Please, sir." I know. See, everyone who knew how to dance this dance started it one day. They said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. Nay, I will not harm you. Have I not been good to you? Please don't say no to me. I love you so much. If I am bad, I would have forced you to dance with me, but I'm not. Consider that, please. Sir, you are a father to me, and my sister is your wife. Besides, I fear God, who forbids such music. Okay, sir. You know what? I know you have been dancing this same music with some of our neighbors here. Instead of me, you may continue if you wish. I will never let my sister know about it. Wow. Nnenma, do you mean you are aware of my secret affairs? That's interesting. You had just increased the level of my love for you. So you knew about this and had never let your sister know. You are such a wise child. Do you know that since the day I sent you to represent me, my friends have been calling me because of you? You know my friend Uke, he asked me what I'm looking for outside when I actually had everything I needed inside. Nay, I want to marry you. Please marry me, Biko. Marry you? Together with my sister? One mother, one father? No, sir. I can't do such wickedness to my sister and mother. See, Nne, I love you and I love your family. You and your sister are not going to stay together. I will send you to the UK to take care of my business, while your sister, who never liked to go there, will be in Nigeria taking care of my business here. No, sir. Even if you want to marry another wife, you can go ahead and marry. You have all it takes to marry anyone of your choice. I understand you love me, but not marriage. Please. Nnenma knelt down as she begged her in-law, "Sir, please, not me, Biko." Mr. Chima became so angry and bitter. Okay, if you insist, no problem. But you have to take an oath with this Bible, never to tell anyone what we discussed tonight. No problem, sir. I will tell no one. I promise. You can go back to your room. Mr. Chima pointed to the door. Thank you so much, sir. Good night. Nnenma went back to her room while her in-law dressed up and left the house. What do you think will happen to Nnenma? Will she dance? Kindly drop your comments and watch out for part 2. This is just the beginning of this story. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like and share this story with your friends. I will really love to hear your thoughts and feedback until I bring another story your way. Bye.